level men will have you looking like a domestic slave. You have to rise above low level men if you love yourself. Because low man is a guy who rents, who has roommates, live with his mom, expensive habits, bad habits, and he doesn't save, and he doesn't own anything, and he actually needs the help of a woman to pay rent. Women fall into this trap like, I want to build with him. We're going to build together. No. He's using you to fund his expensive bad habits, his addictions. Will have you working, and then he also will demand that you look pretty, that you do your hair, your makeup, and then the house is spotless. Is when a man has been successful at dominating a woman, killing her spirit, eradicating her worth, killing her worth, lowering her self-worth. And a woman so doubtful that she doesn't trust her reality anymore because she's been gaslighted so much. A lot of us go into a relationship looking for love, while men have different motives. And I think the biggest test for a relationship is, as a woman, look at yourself in the mirror. And if you like what you see, then you're in the right relationship. But if you don't like what you see, girl, it's time to make changes. Here's the truth: you won't be able to meet that next level guy, the guy that is going to provide for you financially, unless you let go of the low level guy. And you cannot win an argument with a low level guy because they are very traumatized. They need their own healing work. They are not someone that you can talk to. And let me tell you something. Once you raise your value, once you know your worth as a woman, you stop meeting Dusties. Dusties have fell off the planet, from my universe, from my dimension. I meet no Dusties. All I meet is successful men, successful people, successful women, successful men. Because I know my worth now. So now Dusties are not even part of my universe.
Do you think that the biggest problem most women have is that they choose to deal with low level guys? Do you think that's the biggest problem?
Of course not. First of all, defining low level guy, her definition of what she considers a low level guy does not meet every woman's definition of a low level guy. Also, her nationality. So it's easy for women who speak. Who are from these foreign countries to kind of speak that way, because as we know, these are the women that men find most attractive. They find them most attractive because they have a different look. They like that foreign look. They like the women with the long hair, the full lips, that are foreigners. So we have a lot of race of men that will date these kind of women and find value, who see no value in them. So, of course, they can go after a certain type of men because they have a broader spectrum of men that find them attractive or think they're worthy of love. So they'll pay for them when they don't even see. If a black woman carried that same mentality, a lot of people would say, oh, she's a gold digger, but she's a foreign woman. And a lot of men, wealthy men, would find her valuable, especially black men. Look at 50 Cent, how he's dating outside of the black race. There are a lot of men that think these women are more favorable, when I find that they're really gold diggers. They're really looking for a man that can provide for them based on how beautiful they are. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't want to nurture. They want to be paid because they're beautiful and they have nice bodies.
So what would be an Americanized low level man?
Well, I guess if you're looking, then you also have to look into different racial communities too. But in our community, in the black men community, most women think that a low level guy is a guy who does not have a job, who's not employed, um, or a guy who may have a regular man's job. Some blue collar men are considered low level guys to some women in our, uh, our race. But there are plenty blue collar men that make decent money, that make good money, because now those men are finding themselves to have to compete with the athletes, the rappers, and people like that. So then it makes it a little different. So even doctors and lawyers don't hold the same value they once hold because of the, modern day YouTube guy, or, social media personality, or the rapper, or, the athlete. So it is being very challenging for the everyday man to compete with women who find themselves looking for the high value man, because to them high value means six figures and more. And now, sometimes it's not even enough to have six figures, for some of these women who are looking for that. And now, with plastic surgery, more women are now able to change their appearance to meet what a lot of men find desirable in different, nationalities, and so with that being said, it's a little easier for every woman to be beautiful now. And so the guys are struggling to show their worth, show that they're high value men. So it's
Yeah.
changing.
I mean, and I heard her say that if you're renting, if you're renting,
See,
what's wrong with renting?
see,
What's wrong with renting? You at least you're paying for the place that you living in. It's not too many people that outright own their own home, and I mean with no mortgage, out flat out own the house. But
but
today's
that's not what
Dusty is considered the average man. Like the average man is considered Dusty nowadays. So I guess the
because
bar is high, and I guess the bar is way up there. But
they want to be flown on private jets. They want to do yachts, and they don't want you to just be able to afford. It was a time when the everyday, guy, like say, white collar guy could afford to do these things, but didn't own them. You need to own your own jet. You need to own your own yacht for them to be impressed with you. They don't. You can't just rent it. And we're talking about renting a plane, a private plane could be anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000, but that's not enough. You need to own your own private jet and planes for these women. You need to own your yacht. You can't just take and rent a yacht and take her on a nice vacation. She wants you to own the yacht. She wants you to own. You can't own just a home. She wants you to own $1 million plus home. So the
please,
standards are changing based on the fact that I'm beautiful. You heard her say, if you look in the mirror and honey, you don't like what you see, then you need to go and do something. So it's now saying if you don't find yourself attractive enough to get a high value man, then you need to work on you. So the everyday woman who thinks she's beautiful and don't meet their standards of beauty, or if she stands in the mirror and say, well, I like myself without makeup, she's saying that's not good enough. You're not good enough. So if you look in that mirror and there's anything about yourself you don't like, you need to do work on yourself so that you can get a high value man.
she can come live with me in my tiny home.
Yes. So
Mm.
and like she said, all her friends are wealthy. She's wealthy. So I guess, it works for them because that's what they want. And because there are men that are willing to meet these standards to be with them, then it's like, how do you stop it? Because the men to me are the drivers. They're out of control and allowing these women to set these standards, because you won't stay wealthy if you keep keeping that up. And I find that a lot of them are willing to sacrifice themselves to meet the standards of these women, to do anything, compete with other men for their affection, bringing them on these crazy trips, buying them these expensive purses and jewelry. Man, some of these women have purses more expensive than they have money to fit in a purse. What are you
Hmm.
carrying $50,000 purse or $30,000 purse when you ain't got $50,000 or $30,000 to put in it? Make it make sense. But they do, because these guys will do it.
Yeah. Well, they definitely not gonna run out of enough tricks. Always
Well,
gonna
you
be
know what
some tricks.
T.I. said, ain't tricking if you got it.
That's a lie. Trick is a trick.
Ah,
A
it
trick
ain't tricking if
is
you
a
got
trick.
it.